Bring in our next guest. That's going to be Melissa Armo, founder and owner of the stock Swoosh. Welcome back to the show, Melissa.
Thanks for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, before we get into a couple names that you're looking at here, just give me your overall take on the equity market at this point. The Trump bump is in place here. Got solid gains so far this year. Do you expect that to continue into the end of the year?
I definitely think the market is in a new period of bullishness here. Even though the market was bullish in 2024, and yes, we made new highs, it was kind of sluggish. It feels like this is a whole new world now. This is a breakout play to me. So for anyone that is waiting for a pullback, they could miss another huge move. Again, if they didn't go long the day after the election or the day before the election, they already missed a big move. So the market may not pull back. It may just keep going because this is a breakout play. So when you have a breakout, you don't wait for the pullback. I play momentum, and the momentum right now in this market is to the upside. Despite the sell-off yesterday, we rallied and almost closed green. And I know we're down this morning, but I wouldn't even be surprised if we make new highs in the next week. So this is a market that if you decide to miss it and you're trading, you're gonna look back and you're gonna say, "Oh my God, what was I waiting for?"
We don't have that catalyst at this point to maybe send us lower, whether it's data points, the economy in general, Melissa. But that buy the dip mentality here, that also lending support here to equities where, hey, people have been waiting for the buy the dip type of thing for months here on end. We got a little bit at the beginning of August, a little bit at the beginning of September. But those are shallow little moves to the downside. Is that the reason that we've seen this bullishness is that, hey, everybody's sitting on the sidelines waiting to buy into this market even more?
I think that, again, companies have been waiting to see the outcome of the election. Now that we got the outcome of the election, it's no holds barred because, again, Trump talked about the fact that he's going to lift restrictions on companies. Again, the Trump tax plan was set to expire in the spring of 2025. He's going to extend that, I'm sure. So again, companies are excited about this. I mean, you saw Bill Ackman actually tweeted yesterday how excited people are now to start investing. And again, this is large money, big money in the market, and that's what moves stocks. So again, this is a brand new move for me. Anything that happened before, even though we were rallying, to me, it was a very sluggish rally. Even the rally we had this year was not like rallies we had before prior to COVID in 2018 and 2019 in the market. We'd rally a little bit and then fall off, rally a little bit and then fall off. We took off. Look, just go back 10 days ago. Look where we were and look where we are now. And people will see that when they open up their 401ks at the end of the calendar year. And people talk about Christmas rallies and Santa Claus rallies. We may just rally between now and the end of the year, nonstop. We could go up another 20, 30 points in the market.
Yep, consumer sentiment, confidence numbers going up, and then also you have that wealth effect that's fully in place right now. But let's pivot over to a couple individual names you've been watching here. In Tesla, I think everybody's been watching this one, Melissa, up over 31% so far this month alone. I mean, give me your take here, because it seems like if you just look at Tesla based on an EV valuation, you know, you're getting it wrong. And everybody keeps talking about the valuation on Tesla, but that doesn't mean the stock can't go up because the expectations moving forward. And now he's on, riding the coattails of Trump and his win. It seems like, investors are reinvigorated in this name.
Well, I don't really follow fundamentals in stocks because they don't always match up when you look at the earnings sometimes to how the stock acts. I look at the gap and I see the gaps in each individual stock and the gaps in Tesla. And there was a huge gap after the election. But Tesla actually had a big gap on the day of the earnings, and you could have bought it there prior to the election. So again, I'm looking at what's actually happening in the price action in the chart. You have the chart up. When you look at where this stock has been, the stock has been in a downtrend for, it feels like, a very, very, very long time. The last time the stock made brand new all-time highs was years ago. It was actually going reverse and opposite of the market. Now it's finally back up in an uptrend. Tesla will make brand new all-time highs in the next 12 months. That I feel 100% conviction. It's going to 400. And anybody that's shorting the stock yesterday or even shorting the stock today is probably going to get blown on through. I don't know exactly when it gets to that number. Could be the next earnings, could be the first quarter of 2025. But again, I think the fear behind the Tesla was that there was going to be some kind of backlash against Musk if in fact Harris won. And again, that is behind the stock, that's behind Musk. What involvement he's going to have with the administration, I don't know exactly what that's going to entail. But for now, the stock is in an uptrend and people should not be shorting this. And I know people are because I saw the stock fall yesterday. And it's just gonna go over that again. It's gonna go up to 400.
When you look at this one, 414 in November of 2021 was that all-time high. We're at currently about 335 at this point. You saw some of the commentary from analysts coming out. Dan Ives putting a $400 price target on it. Morgan Stanley said, hey, maybe 500 is baked into the cards here. Do you lend credence to that? I mean, I know you watch the momentum on some of these names, but do you lend some credence to these analysts to, there's still $90 price targets on Tesla right now at this point?
I didn't hear that, so that's funny to hear that. But as far as again looking at how could the stock go to 500, of course it went more than 100 points in the last 30 days. So this is one of these stocks that's so fun to trade. It's really fun to trade as an option. It's expensive. If you want to day trade it, you could trade it on margin. Could it go 100 points? Yes. Could it go 200 points? Yes. I think the sky's the limit. Remember, again, like you said, it's been years since the stock made new highs. As soon as it breaks up over the high, yeah, it absolutely could go flying. It could go to 600. Again, we're talking about in the next 12 months or something like that. But remember, when the market's very, very bullish and the market's rising, again, everything kind of lifts with the market unless something's extremely weak. And there are things out there that are weak. I will say that not everything rallied with the overall market in the last 7 to 10 days.
Yeah, let's move on to another name that you're looking at here is Netflix hitting all-time highs. Overbought on a technical basis, about 75 RSI on this one, but the momentum on this one's been pretty clear also, Melissa.
Absolutely. Another one that already has passed the earnings. And again, really, the earnings wasn't anything earth shattering, but the stock kept rallying. It broke out. It was a brand new all-time highs even yesterday. Even today, with the market slightly down, that stock I think is up. The last time I looked at it this morning, an hour ago, the stock looks like it just wants to keep climbing. And this is what makes it difficult for people. They say, well, where can I get in? People are waiting for pullbacks, they're waiting for something, and it just keeps going and going. But that's momentum. That's how momentum acts. That's what I'm talking about in reference to the gap in the market. And again, could this stock go to 1,000 again? Sure. Yes, it could. And again, Netflix is one of those early earnings that will have earnings to start out earnings season in January of 2025. So again, all shorts are off for Netflix right now. 850 is the next number I'm watching, flew through 800. And even though it seems like it's a slow climb up, that's usually how longs are. Not everything takes off straight up. But I mean, it is getting bought. You can't deny it.
Yep, momentum building. They reached 70 million monthly active users on their ad streaming platform. Yesterday, they announced that. So momentum to the upside here in Netflix. Let's pivot over to Google Alphabet because this stock it was kind of underperforming the Mag 7 names. Got a little bit of bump on earnings. What are your expectations here for Alphabet?
It did have a bump on earnings and then it sold off and the gap up. That was just one of those things where it's bad timing. That was, again, prior to the election, and then the market wasn't acting right and sold off. So it was just bad timings, but it's through that. It's up and it looks a lot stronger than it did a couple of days ago. And again, sky's the limit for that too. It's one of these things, again, when Trump comes into office and all these regulations are lifted, I think you're going to see a big, big change in some of these stocks that used to lead the market, used to have tech leading the market. Now it doesn't seem to be the case in the last few years, but that could change again back in tech's favor. It's so funny because we didn't talk about Apple, Nvidia. I just want to throw this in. It feels like Nvidia is the new Apple. Remember when Apple used to leave, when Apple was up, the market was up. That kind of went away, I'd say, in the last 12 months. Now it seems to be Nvidia, but that could change again as well. So it seems like a lot of these companies are going to get on board here. And we could see not just another 4 years of a GOP administration. We could see with JD Vance as Trump's VP pick, he could run and win again in 4 years. And we could see 12 years of deregulation, low taxes, and a great economy. And I think a lot of people are very excited about that.
All right, great breakdown for us and momentum to the upside in some of these tech names. Appreciate it, Melissa. Have a great day.
Thank you.
All right, that's Melissa Armo, founder and owner of the stock Swoosh.